Detailed but still rather inconclusive documentary. You as the viewer will be learning all about the carbon cycle. You'll be learning how atmospheric carbon, carbohydrates, and energy are transferred from one mass to another, what it has to do with you, and the present results of overusing the carbon element. Carbon is an essential part of life, and you get to learn all about it.
Atmospheric carbon is absorbed from the atmosphere in two different major ways, through photosynthesis and through the ocean's water absorbing. Photosynthesis is always the same and follows the same equation no matter where it takes place.
Even a plankton in the sea uses the process of photosynthesis. When the plankton absorbs the carbon dioxide from the sun's energy, it converts the energy to water and oxygen and saves the rest of the energy in glucose. The oxygen is released back into the air, and the water simply goes into the sea. The plankton continuously uses this process to gain energy and sustain its life force.
Other living creatures, the plankton dies at some time during its life. It may die of natural causes or may end up being eaten. If the plankton ends up simply dying, old age, it will go through one of the long-term cycles of the carbon cycle. It will fall to the ocean floor and become part of the ocean floor sediment. After millions of years and enough pressure, the sediment is turned into fossil fuels. When the fossil fuels are burned, they release the carbon dioxide the plankton still had in its body back into the atmosphere.
To not die of old age and be eaten by another living creature, it would go through one of the short-term cycles of the carbon cycle. If the plankton were to be eaten by krill, it would transfer its carbohydrates and stored energy. The krill eats plankton every day to gain its stored carbohydrates and energy. Now, krill is a crustacean. This means it also has an exoskeleton or shell. Krill gets this exoskeleton from carbonic acid in the ocean's waters. Carbonic acid is the result of atmospheric carbon dissolving into the ocean water. The carbon dissolves because carbon is denser than water and wants to sink. This shell keeps the atmospheric carbon stored through creating calcium carbonate, which is contained in the krill shell.
Naturally or being eaten. If it dies naturally, it will fall to the ocean floor, where it will lay for millions of years under intense pressure. Throughout this time, the carcasses of the dead krill and crustaceans slowly form carbonate rocks such as marble and limestone, formed from the calcium carbonate in the crustacean shells.
Krill can also end up dying young.
Why must the krill die young?
If the krill is eaten by a whale, for instance, it dies. This whale receives the carbohydrates, energy, and the carbon the krill stored away. The whale eats loads of krill every day to stay alive.
Like all other living creatures, a whale has to breathe. Whales take oxygen from the atmosphere and breathe out carbon dioxide, which travels back into the atmosphere. Whales are also killed by I can't do this. I need a minute, okay? Whales are also killed by humans for their bodily resources. This result of decay releases the carbon and carbon dioxide located in the whale's body back into the atmosphere. Carbon is also returned to the atmosphere when humans burn the whale's petroleum-based fats. Petroleum is a fossil fuel and therefore it releases carbon dioxide when it is burned.
Need to find some whales. Whoop, whoop. Oh, there's a whale. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I'm gonna make petroleum-based stuff with this whale.
Speaking of humans burning fossil fuels, humans are burning so many fossil fuels that they're overpolluting the world's atmosphere with carbon dioxide. Not only is this causing global warming and other serious catastrophes, it's also messing up the carbon cycle.
Hello? No, Mom. I'm on my electronics right now. No.
See, all that extra carbon dioxide dissolving in the water is creating way too much carbonic acid. Even with all the crustaceans there's too much carbonic acid for them to absorb it all. So there's a huge amount of carbonic acid just building up in the ocean waters. This is making the waters much more acidic and warmer, which is killing off a lot of marine life and affecting other creatures that live off of marine life. Without the crustaceans, no carbonic rocks will form, and when the microscopic organisms die off too, that means that no more future fossil fuels. Humans are destroying Earth and the carbon cycle!
You want to stop that? You gotta be energy efficient!
Now here's Sam with some whale facts.
Hi. Hello. Hey there. Did you know where a right whale got its name? In New England, during colonial times, whalers, when they whaled the right whale, they called it the right whale to kill because it would float to the top after being killed. While we're dwelling on some whale name facts, let me just say that where a sperm whale got its name. In New England colonial times, when a whaler killed a sperm whale, they found a milky white substance in the head of the whale. Of course, they mistaked this substance to be the whale's reproductive goo, which of course it wasn't. And one last fact about whales. Sperm whale oil is the best oil to use in terms of burning because it does not release a terrible odor. And so,
No,
yeah.
Sam, we agreed on 3.
No, wait.
No,
Did
Sam.
you know that beluga means
No,
white in
Sam.
Russian?
This is the process of photosynthesis.
Die in natural causes, or it may end up being eaten. Okay.
Plankton were to not die of old age and be...
Dead krill and other crustaceans slowly form calcium.
carbonate. And the water simply goes to... shit.
To find some whales.
Whoop!
Oh, see a whale. Gonna kill it.
Let's try that again.